And I'm Summer, and welcome to Lockdown Lounge,
where we're gonna show you how to make our favorite happy hour cocktails from home. Hey, Summer, how you doing, boo?
I'm good. Getting ready. I'm gearing up to go back to work, so we will talk about that after we get some drinks started.
And what were we doing today? We're doing whiskey. Hey.
So, Myris and I actually chose two different types of whiskey. There are a plethora of choices when it comes to whiskey. And I am going to start with Old Overholt. That is going to be my whiskey. What'd you pick, Myris?
I actually picked Jameson today as my whiskey. And as Summer said, there are a plethora of whiskeys out there, guys. Whiskey is made from fermented grains like barley, corn, rye, and wheat. Typically aged in a wooden cask. There's two ways to spell whiskey. I never paid attention to this. You can either spell it with the E or not spell it with the E. Usually the spelling with the E is more of a US or Ireland thing, whereas in Scotland, it's not spelled with E, which is mostly Scotches that we're talking about here. Like wine, whiskeys are given their names from the region that they're made in. So all bourbons are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are bourbon. So, did you want to jump in here, Summer?
Okay, so since we're starting, and I chose for my cocktail a drink that you will find on a lot of different happy hour menus, and that is the Old Fashioned. I chose as my whiskey. Here, we're gonna do some camera adjustments so that you can see everything that I am doing. There you go. So Old Overholt, it's a rye whiskey. Rye meaning that it is made with at least 51% rye mash. It's really close to a bourbon. Bourbon is at least 51% corn mash, but that will probably be a different video. Rye, Old Overholt in particular, believe it or not, is the oldest continually maintained brand. It's from 1810, and it made it through Prohibition. Something I learned while looking up information for this video. By the way, I'm going to start the cocktail. So I have my glass of ice. I have my jigger. I'm sorry, I keep saying I don't know why.
It's okay. So I say a lot too when it comes to videos, guys. So just get used to us saying maybe make a drinking game out of it. There you go.
How many times we say I say
Like at least we don't say but.
So 2 ounces, which is pretty standard in Old Fashions. Something that I learned, however, is that the Old Fashioned was not originally created with bourbon. It was actually created with rye. Bourbon became popular in the South and then became trendy, and then a lot of cocktails changed to have bourbon instead of rye in them, including the Old Fashioned. My bad. Did you see that flying?
That's okay.
A couple of dashes of Angostura bitters. And then in our last video, we had simple syrup, and I have that fancy bottle of simple syrup. I ain't got that no more. So my husband made me some simple syrups, just 1 part sugar, 1 part water. We keep this in a mason jar in our fridge because we use it. And knowing him, it's not as sweet as I would make it, but Old Fashions are supposed to be sweet. So I'm going to do about 1/4 ounce. Traditionally, it would be a sugar cube, guys. But I ain't got that. This is Lockdown Lounge. We at home. So I'm using simple syrup. You can use granulated sugar. The thing about granulated sugar, though, is that it doesn't dissolve as easily. So it's going to be a little grainy.
What about a nice sugar cube, Summer, and like mashing that up?
Yeah, you can do that if you have sugar cubes. I don't have sugar cubes, but if you use a sugar cube and you mash it, like if you get a muddler and you mash it with the bitters, which actually works too, and a little hint of water, it's still not going to dissolve all the way unless you've beaten that thing for a while. Okay, so I have, girl, guess what I just forgot to do?
What?
I ain't got nothing to strain this with, so give me a second. I gotta go. Never shake an Old Fashioned. You are gonna bruise your whiskey. and make it weak, and you don't want to do that. So you just stir enough to chill it. I have a highball here with a big ice cube in it because I'm schmancy. And then I'm just gonna strain it over it.
Summer always has one schmancy thing in her house, y'all. Last time it was that schmancy sugar, the schmancy simple syrup. Now she got schmancy ice cubes. I don't never have nothing schmancy in my house. I'm gonna get something schmancy for y'all the next time.
So yeah, I'm a little bougie like that. So old fashions typically have a citrus pill garnish. You'll see oranges a lot, but you can also do lemon, and I am just gonna do a lemon peel because that's what I have in my house, and it actually really brings out the aromas. I like lemon in my old fashioned, but oranges work too. And then since I'm also schmancy, I have some of these yummy cherries.
Oh, let me see what it was called. Filthy?
Girl. Yes.
Filthy.
They filthy, girl.
Yes. Filthy cherries. Down dirty.
They tasty too. They taste like candy. But anyway, that is my old fashioned. The old Overholt, very affordable. This bottle is about $15 to $20 depending on where you are. And you'll see it a lot on rails in your local bar.
All righty. Thank you.
Back to you, Myris.
Appreciate it. Let's get it started. So for my cocktail, I picked a green tea shot. So let me adjust my camera for you guys a little bit.
Shot.
Green tea shots are a very popular shot at happy hours. And the main bitch on that is Jameson.
The main bitch.
Yes. This is your main chick in your green tea shot. Jameson is an Irish whiskey made by John Jameson and his family. They are a legacy for this. This has been since 1780 they've been making Jameson, man. It's a very popular drink all over the world, very affordable. It's about $15 to $20 depending on where you go. And let's get it started. So you're gonna need Jameson for your green tea shot. You're gonna need peach schnapps. If you do not like the taste of peach, then that's your problem. And
you're not gonna have a green tea shot.
You're not gonna have green tea
like
shot. And then you're gonna have some sour mix or some margarita. I use margarita mix. I don't really see the difference in sour mix and margarita mix. We can have that conversation later. Some people like to put Sprite in their green tea shots. I don't do that. I'm not gonna do that now. I just feel like there's no need for that. So let's take our shaker real quick, and we're gonna put ice into it. I'm gonna put it down a little more so y'all can. So y'all won't see my face, but y'all will see.
Oh, I like your shirt.
Thank you. You know I'm a.
You know they're supposed to be bringing it back.
They are, and I'm super excited about it. And you know I love Aaron Magruder so much.
But I'm kind of sad because John Witherspoon's gone, Charlie Murphy's gone. Like
I know. I'm really sad about that too. But I still hope they bring back the show. It's a great show, guys. If you're not a Boondocks fan, shame on you. All right. So here we go. Back to the shot. So you got your Jameson. It is supposed to be equal parts Jameson and peach schnapps. I'm probably not going to do that because I don't do that at my house. So I'm about to do like maybe 1.5 capful of Jameson. So I do like maybe 2 parts Jameson, 1 part peach schnapps, if that makes any sense to y'all. Bartenders will know what I mean by that.
Yeah, it's supposed to taste like green tea, right? That's why it's called a green tea shot?
Actually, the only reason it's called a green tea shot, guys, is because it looks like green tea. That's the only reason. That's what I looked up. There's no actual green tea in green tea shots, if anybody was curious about that. So then I just kind of fill up to the brim with ice with the sour mix, and I shake. Sorry, I'm gonna move my stuff before I shake. I don't want any accidents. And then I just shake. Y'all know I like a chilled drink.
This is really inappropriate. But all I see
is boobs moving. Is boobs going everywhere. Everything jiggling. That's all right. That is all right. And then strain into the glass, guys. And then
that is a huge shot.
I don't have my shot glasses. My kids broke my shot glasses, guys. So I'm working with what I have. This is the best shot glass I can find. So
and green tea. You can have a green tea cocktail as well. It doesn't only have to be a shot. You can do a green tea over ice or straight up, like Myris is doing. It doesn't have to be a shoot or a shot.
Doesn't have to be a shooter, but most people like it that way. Here we go. Cheers, Summer.
Cheers. So pet peeves. It's good.
It's good. How's yours?
It's really good. So pet peeve that I have when people make old fashions, I have been guilty of this. Muddling fruit. Do not muddle fruit in your old fashioned. That's not the classic way to do it. Actually, I shouldn't even have a cherry in this bitch, but I like cherries and I'm at home so I can do it, but don't muddle. That's the PSA from Lockdown Lounge. Do not muddle fruit in your old fashioned.
Have I had a couple bartenders make me some with muddled fruit that tastes okay? Yes, but that is not the traditional way to make it, honey. The other thing you can do that I do like that some bartenders do is they take their peeled fruit, whether it's orange or lemon, and light it on fire. I
thought about doing that, but that's a little too schmancy for a Lockdown Lounge. You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, if you're feeling schmancy at home, sometimes we do feel schmancy. I do got a lighter at home for various reasons.
Is that the word of the episode? Schmancy?
Schmancy. Maybe
I thought.
Okay. If my kids. Hold on, wait, guys. Sorry. I got the kids. Hold on. Sorry, this is gonna happen sometimes. Here, yes, you can have this. Go ahead. Here. Sorry about that. So
it's okay.
One of the things, guys, from doing happy hour at home, sometimes your kids are gonna come around.
But what I thought the word of the day was gonna be was plethora. And every time I think of plethora, I think of Sister Act 2 when what's his name? That was in what was it? The singer, the guy who...
That was in City High, the group.
City High, yeah. He was like, yes, we have a plethora of other opportunities. I always think of that whenever I say that word.
Do you know my brother went to school with him in Philly?
Really?
Yes, he did, honey. I don't know him, so I'm not claiming I know him, and I'm not claiming they was like boys like that. But he did, because I thought he was lying about that for years. But he showed me his yearbook, and damn it if he wasn't in there.
Guess who I went to high school? Well, I didn't go to him. He went to my high school like a few years before me. Skilo.
Really?
I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller. Yes, girl. That's my high school's claim to fame. I'm from California, by the way, so nice. That's where it is. So topic. I was talking about. I was going back to work, right? So as you guys know, I work in a restaurant. The bars have not opened here in Maryland. We are slowly opening. So my restaurant has decided to open to do takeout and delivery. There are only 4 of us working, 3 full-time shifts. So it's really, really like, to keep this in mind, front of house staff at my restaurant, it's conservatively about 30 people. Generally, right? Myris, you would say about 30 people.
About 30 people.
Servers, bartenders, about 30 people on staff.
Yeah, about 30 people on staff.
Close. Only 4 of us are coming back. That is how slowly they are trying to reopen. But they have a lot of good safety precautions. No guests are allowed in the building at any time. Takeout will be walked out to the vehicles. Masks are worn at all times, gloves are worn at all times, and you have to have your temperature taken before entering the building. So they're trying to protect us, but we are slowly but surely getting back to work. So I will, after 3 months of being off work, I will be going back to work full time, 40 hours a week.
And how do you feel about that? Are you happy to be back to work?
I am, but as a tipped employee, doing takeout delivery, I'm not sure how that's going to work financially. And I mean, unfortunately, the way things are now, it's pretty sweet getting unemployment because that basically covers what I would have been making while working. But this is probably going to be a pay cut. So I don't know how that's going to go. My husband's still not working full time, so we'll still have steady income, but we'll see. I'm excited to see people. I'm excited to get out of these 4 walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so how's work for you?
Well,
You're moving to working. You're going the opposite, right? You may start working from
I'm
home.
actually gonna probably be working from home from now on, guys. That's where I'm at right now. I've never worked from home before, so this is a new experience for me. So I'm just getting myself ready for that. They're gonna have me doing some training for that and get me fully ready to help people from home, because that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I'm still providing a service from my home. But I do think that a lot of companies are going to start having a lot of people stay at home and work from home, because it seems like a lot of industries are realizing that, hey, I can have my employees work from home and save a lot of money,
overhead.
not leasing this big behind office over here. So I feel like this whole thing is going to transition into a lot of companies doing that. As far as people going back to work in restaurants, guys, Summer's Place is not the only place that's opening up slowly or using new methods to keep people safe while being open. I just saw in Amsterdam that they're making these little huts, these little glass or transparent huts that you sit in as a couple. They're not doing big parties. So let's be clear. Don't go there with 20 people and try to get sat if you live in Amsterdam, sorry. But it's just a little couple hut, and you stay in it, and your server doesn't even come in. She kind of just gives you the drinks and food through a what's the word I'm looking for, Summer? Through
like a little window, a little hatch.
Like a window, yes, like a little window or opening.
Wait. Like you in a jail cell? And they like just pulled up.
Kinda.
Wait. Really lockdown lounge, right?
Like real lockdown lounge, like, yeah. But it looks cute though. Like they put an ambiance to it, and it looks cute. So maybe
little Christmas lights.
I didn't do like little flowers. It looks pleasant. So maybe this might transition to what we do here in the States. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I saw. Oh.
All right.
All righty.
So back to bartender. I have a question for you.
Me?
Last week we were talking about memorable guests.
Yes.
Or stuff that's happened.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any memorable like coworkers or situations at a restaurant with coworkers?
Oh God, do I? Oh, I say, which one you want to talk about? Oh my goodness. Let me think. There are so many. There are so many coworkers I could talk about on this. Most memorable. I'm gonna switch people's names on this because I don't want to, get anybody in trouble or talk, put anybody out there. Think one of my favorite coworkers has to be this dude named Jay. Jay is a super cool, like he talks like Charlie Murphy almost, and he's real chill, but he always had to be a little high. Sorry for the people watching. He had to be a little high at work to function. Like he couldn't be sober. He couldn't be sober. If he was sober, he would get angry because our restaurant was very what's the word I'm looking for? Very intense. Very you had to be on the ball. And when he was a little tipsy or something, he was on the ball. But when he was sober, oh my God, it was like hell working with him. So it was his last day of work. He was moving. And he was behind the bar, and he's chilling, he's happy, and he's working really good, and all this other stuff. We're like, wow, Jay is doing a great job, blah, blah, blah. It's really busy, so no one's really paying attention. And then out of nowhere, the manager comes and says, hey, where did Jay go? And we all look around. Turns out this fool gave away half the bar, gave all the shots, took what he thought was his portion of the tip money, like what he deserved. He didn't take it all, so I'm not gonna say that. But whatever he thought he made that night, he took that and bounced. He was supposed to work the whole night, y'all. His last night, he just bounced and left us. Couldn't believe he did that. But I love him, so I don't care. But he's the craziest person.
Did people know he was quitting, or did he just quit?
We knew it was his last day. But we didn't know he was going to do all of that. Like, that bar was insane that night, Summer. We had people behind people. It was a fun night. Like, we had people behind people. We were moving, making money, laughing, all that kind of stuff, but we did not know what really doing. Damn, I think I said his name.
You did.
Tuna, edit that out. So we didn't know what he was doing. Do you have a favorite coworker that you used to work with besides me?
I was about to say, you girl, we got some stories about you.
Them stories. Don't tell them stories.
My favorite coworker story. See, it's not even people I worked with. It's people who predated me. So it's just stories I heard. I have my favorite stories about people.
Well, go ahead. No one.
Like the manager who was a flasher.
God, they're gonna look this stuff up.
I didn't say where, but the manager who was a flasher, it was flashing women.
Yeah, that was
in the parking garage elevator, and they got arrested at the restaurant.
We're gonna say allegedly because I don't know.
Well, he got convicted.
Did he? I cannot recall. So we're gonna say allegedly, just to come allegedly,
and then got arrested during business hours at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that was hilarious. I was there for that. So
I wasn't, but that's a really kind of a crazy situation. But I'm sure I'm probably on the spot, but I've seen some stuff, but I'm probably on the spot, right?
What?
This isn't even a funny story. It's a ridiculous story about, it's not even a favorite employee or coworker. It's just ridiculous stuff that can happen in restaurants. And especially now during this whole Me Too movement, Me Too and all of that stuff, this stuff becomes very prevalent and important to talk about. Yeah. So in hindsight, I can make light of it because I'm safe, but it's not funny, but it's ridiculous, and that's why I'm sharing it. What? So not at the current restaurant that I'm in, but another restaurant. I once had my executive chef lock me in his office. It was my lunch break. He's like, "Hey, can you come to the office? I need to talk to you about something." And we were cool. We were friendly or whatever. I was like, "Sure, I can have my lunch in your office." Yeah, I was like, "Sure, I can have my lunch in your office. It's cool." Go to the office, and we're talking, whatever. Eventually, he gets up and he locks his door, and I was like, "That's strange." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go for a run after my shift, so I just need to change clothes." And I was like, "What?" And out of the corner of my eye, I see this man getting completely naked. And it's like, "What? Why aren't you looking at me?" And I'm like, "Because you're naked. I don't know why I'm here. This is ridiculous." Long story short, that man got fired. But that is the ridiculousness of stuff that has happened in restaurants. I'm not saying that happens in all restaurants. I will say that the restaurant, especially in the back of house, can be a little flirty and a little
aggressive.
What's the word I'm looking for, Myris?
Aggressive was the word I said, but
yeah, I was trying to be nice about it, but
inappropriate maybe might be
inappropriate. And that is a story of blatant.
And even with customers sometimes can get inappropriate too. I had a male coworker who was walking past a woman, and the woman was a little tipsy at the time, and she smacked his behind. And we told her she had to leave because he felt violated. Of course he did. She was like, "What's the problem?" I'm like, "What do you mean, what's the problem?" First of all, the person I'm talking about was a young dude at the time. I don't even know, he might have been of age at the time, but just because you're in a restaurant, guys, this is something that definitely needs to be addressed. If you are a person dining at a restaurant, it is not okay to talk inappropriately to your server, your bartender. I know we get a little loose, we have a little fun. Fun is fun, but I feel like some people take it to another level because you're at a bar or you're in a restaurant. You think that those kinds of comments are cool. They're not. most people won't say nothing because they don't want to affect their job or their tip because of the customer's always right status of restaurants. But it's not okay. Okay?
Not at all. I have there's plenty of stories of people being inappropriate, of people touching bartenders. If I'm on the outside of the bar on a Friday night, I actually stopped working Friday night happy hours because I got touched while I was doing cocktail tables. And it's not okay.
It's not okay. You wouldn't touch nobody in the office. You wouldn't touch nobody at any kind of corporate job. You wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that. So why would you think it's okay to do that at a bar?
Yeah.
It's not. I don't care what kind of bar it is. I don't care if it's Hooters, where the stuff is out here and out here. Don't touch nobody. Don't touch nobody.
Moral of the story: watch yourself.
Watch yourself.
Be it if you are an employee, a coworker, or a guest. Don't touch, and don't strip naked. I can believe it. Anyway, on that note, it's been fun, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying these videos. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, leave them below in the comments box. Also, don't forget to subscribe and
like and comment, please.
There you go.
And stay safe. I know stuff is a little chaotic right now. Just stay safe, stay positive, and stay informed, guys. And vote. Don't care. I said that at the end. All right, y'all. Peace.
Bye, guys.
This is the lockdown. Lockdown.